So I'm going to pass around a map, and then I'll give you something that shows where to fill these in case you can't see that map. Because some people are having trouble because it's a little bit blurry. So today we're focusing on different French-speaking countries in Africa, and I'm going to focus on 3 different countries' cultures, because I only really had time to do 3. And then we're all going to read about it together, and I'm going to break down into groups to do a little bit of translation. And after lunch, I'm going to do a quiz with Kahoot for y'all, so we can study for our vocab quiz. Y'all do have a vocab quiz on Friday, and it's just the vocab that y'all studied on Monday. So the countries aren't going to be on there. It's just the vocab that y'all did on Monday. And if you're having trouble seeing that, I'm going to pass around a packet that has the countries on it, and the numbers are the same. So on this front page, it has the same numbers. So I'll pass this around in case any of y'all can't see that. And do not write on this packet I'm about to give you, because there's only like 1 class set. Did mine turn off again? Oh, what's going on? So like I said, this first page, the numbers are the same as the one on that one.
Does that mean like it has 2 words to say? No, it's the same thing. I know.
Yeah, there is no 3. Because the 3 that's actually like on here, it's so small, I couldn't like
This is all.
really fit it in there.
Yeah, like a picture. No.
And I'll give y'all about 10 minutes to fill that out. If you don't finish, that's okay. It's for you to keep so that when I'm talking about these countries, you can have like a visual of where they are. If you finish early, you can color it if you want.
Maybe your notes. Just one.
What else is 3 on here? Yeah, the 3 was so small. Yeah. I just figured it would be easier if I just put the exact same numbers on both. Because some of them were pointing to like super tiny islands that you can't see on the picture that I put.
Are these going in the same order too?
There's just not a 3 or a 7.
I never looked up these are one, these, 2,
Yeah.
these. Okay. So, it's Colombia, I just love it. Statistics with that.
Maybe it's because I haven't updated it yet. It should still go. Okay, if you're not done, that's fine. I'm just gonna do like a quick intro. So if you're not done, you can just keep working. So today we're gonna talk about Francophone countries in Africa. There are more French speakers in the continent of Africa than in the continent of Europe. And the Democratic Republic of Congo has the most French speakers out of any country, so more than France. So there's really more like French going on in Africa than there actually is in Europe. However, these countries use French a little bit differently. It's not like in France where like all the street signs are in France, school is in French, people at home usually speak French. Here they use it in different ways. Like in some countries they just use it in school. Some countries it's just for business. And then some countries it's just for specific things, like if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. No, I'm just telling y'all. Okay, so this kind of mirrors the map that y'all just filled out. On the left is countries, like basically the breakdown of countries by which European country colonized them. So in the green you have England, and the yellow you have France, and that probably really mirrors the countries that y'all wrote down. And then on the right, well on the left also, if you see the Democratic Republic of Congo is in blue, they were colonized by Belgium, and Belgium speaks French too, and that's why they speak French there. So Belgium and France were the two French-speaking countries that were colonized, and that's why I had y'all write those ones down specifically. And then on the right, it's a picture of which countries speak French. The dark blue is countries that have it as their official language, and then the light blue is the countries that I was talking about where it's like a little bit different. It might be a language in school, or it might just be like a language of business. Okay, here's two charts just to like break it down a little bit more specifically. So on the left, it's the percentages of people that speak French. So like if you see Gabon, that's the one on the very top. 61% of people in Gabon speak French. But if you look on the map, that's a tiny little country. So that's not that many people. And then Congo-Brazzaville, which is just Congo, they have 58%. So those are the two highest percentages. But on the right, that's how many thousands of people speak it. And when it says thousands, that means that since this says 33 already, then it's this many million people. So that's more than even the population of France. So in the Democratic Republic of Congo, they have the most French speakers. So that's just percentages, and then this is just in thousands. Just to break it down to y'all, like the French and the different countries. Now I'm going to talk to y'all about 3 countries specifically, and just like go into their culture a little bit. So the first one is Algeria. If y'all notice in the official languages, French is not included. They have Arabic, and then the Algerian dialect. Nope, it's just for y'all to know, just to hear about, because I think it's interesting. So they have an Algerian dialect of Arabic, which is a little bit different. I don't speak Arabic, so I can't tell you all the differences. And then they also have a language that's just local to that country, which is Tamazight, I think is how you pronounce that. So, how does French fall into Algeria? They use it as a language of instruction. So in a lot of schools, they just teach in French. But in all of the schools, the science classes are taught in French. And this is because if you want to be a doctor, med school, all of the classes are taught in French. So all of the doctors speak French. And this is because a lot of people in Algeria, they'll actually go to France for med school, and then they come back to their home country and work as doctors there. That's why you need to know French, is because a lot of the time they do go to France for med school. Okay, they are part of l'Union du Maghreb Arabe, so the UMA, and the Maghreb is a combination of 5 Arabic-speaking African countries. It's Libya, Tunisia, Mauritania, and then this country, and Morocco. So all of those countries have their own very distinct culture. And the reason that they first formed it was to gain independence from their coloners, or from the people that colonized them. So they all got independence around the same time in 1960. So think about that. These are young countries. This became Algeria its own independent country in 1960. That wasn't that long ago. Just to give y'all like a thought of like how long their country was controlled by other people. Now, why would other countries want to control Algeria? They have natural gas, and they have petroleum. 2 things very, very important around the world. Algeria is actually the 4th largest exporter of natural gas, and the 9th largest exporter of petroleum. And that's why, like, I'm not saying it's right, but that was the motivation behind countries like France trying to control that country. They were trying to get all of that gas to their country and get it as cheap as possible and then make as much money as they could off of another country's land. So I'm going to talk to you all a little bit about some of the celebrations that they have. So the first one, they have one for their Independence Day. For that time, they became their own nation in 1960. And they always have this thing called Un Spectacle. Did you guys ever talk about Un Spectacle? It just means like a show, so like a performance. So there's this big performance where they had the Olympic Games in Algeria. So this is basically just like on a field. They do different cultural displays, there's dances, and I have a video of an example for that. And they also have a celebration for the Algerian Revolution, which happened a little bit before that. And I have another example, and it's like basically this tradition that they have. They put this like light display up on the Capitol building, and it's really cool. So I'll show you all the videos for that. The first one is for Independence Day.
Chorégraphie, très simple, mais jolie, et que le public
Yeah, I don't
apprécie.
have to understand. It's just saying really simple choreography, but it's really beautiful. And I'm just going to skip through this because some of it's long because there's a whole lot of people. But this is the stadium where they held a lot of the summer Olympic Games in Algeria. This is really similar to a color guard performance, like if I could compare it to something that we do in the US. So that's just them getting out onto the field. It takes them a hot minute to get on the field.
Viennent se joindre à ce spectacle, ajoutant des couleurs et de la lumière,